once again, we have our family podcast, Big Sam and Nephews. And Sherry, I want to say hello to my nephews who are down in Atlanta, Georgia.
Hey, what's going on?
Sherry and I are here in Minneapolis. Hey. We're going to get going because we have a sports podcast
to do.
Let's talk about the Final Four.
Let's do it. Let's do it.
Except it's not the four. It's the
Well, I know. It'll get down to four, though.
Okay.
After this weekend, right? Or is it this?
No, it's the 8.
No, it'll be 8 after these games are all played. Then after that,
because they're playing
they
on
got to play, right, and then they got to play. They'll play on again next weekend, and they'll whittle it down to 4.
Okay.
Gonzaga's winning it all.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's the consensus. But I mean, you still got people like Baylor, who's
What
a really
side of the
complete
bracket
team.
are they on?
I think Baylor is on the opposite side. I think.
Right, and actually, Gonzaga's out west.
Yeah.
Where's Baylor? East?
I want to say it's South.
Okay, so then there's a potential for them to meet in the Final Four before the final game.
Yeah. That is true.
Yeah.
That is true.
Or it's a potential for them to meet for the title.
Yeah, that's also true. Also.
Yeah, I still think they're winning it all.
I mean, there's this. This year's been crazy. Because you don't have teams like Duke and UNC is trash.
Garbage.
But I mean, I think this year is Gonzaga's year because all of this stuff is happening.
Yeah.
But I still have to look at these other teams that's out here, like, Florida State. I mean, Florida State really can, kind of keep themselves together. They can do some damage.
Right.
But they're playing right now against Michigan.
That or Houston. Houston looks good. Houston
does look good.
Man, Houston looks great to me.
Yeah.
You got to remember, Kelvin Sampson, had he not gotten bumped out of his job with Indiana, he still would have been rolling. Yeah. And that's what happened. He got bumped for some illegal stuff going on with recruiting. So you lost him, and then Kelvin Sampson had to build his way back up. Mm-hmm. He went to the NBA, a couple 2 or 3 teams there as an assistant. But now he's got Houston looking real good.
Yeah, right. They've been building that. I mean, he's been having Houston look good for the last at least 2 or 3 years.
Right.
So he's all, and I think he's been doing real good because he's able. I mean, it goes back to what we started talking about, tapping into your base. He's been able to tap into the base of
Houston.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, South Texas, man. I mean, Houston, that Houston area, man. That's a monster within itself.
Full of talent.
Yeah, a lot of talent. So he does real good for with that. And I mean, and then being in Houston, man, you have to compete. With University of Texas, all Baylor's and all these other.
Right. You got so many different teams. You got.
Yeah. So,
but I think what happens with Kelvin is that he's such a knowledgeable coach. He's good. Yeah, I met him back in my coaching AAU days. I saw him, talked to him. Very, very knowledgeable guy. Very knowledgeable.
So
what do you guys think about all these kids that's potentially going to be in the transfer protocol after this year?
Now that's interesting to me. Because the seniors get an extra year. Sorry about the reverb.
That's you, Sherry. I'm gonna put you in.
I know it's.
You turn your volume down?
I unmuted my mic.
Nah, but it's still going through something.
Okay. Is that better?
Yeah, that's good.
Okay. Well, the seniors get an extra year. So they could be a graduate player because they get that extra year. I mean, I think that's fair.
Well, yeah, I mean, I think you have a potential to have a lot of things, a lot of super teams, if you will, because a lot of these kids can really kind of go anywhere now and like play right off the bat. Like normally you have to sit out that year, but like you don't have to do that right now.
Right.
So I mean, I'm already, kind of seeing, a couple of teams like, oh yeah, we go and pick up this player and then pick up this player. Then all of a sudden you have a team that's like really stacked. So I mean, I think it's gonna be fun for certain people and not so fun for everybody else. So
I wonder if that's what's gonna happen, like with Duke and UNC. Just because this is the first year that there's been a tournament that they haven't been there.
Right, yeah. And that's what I'm saying. Like Duke already has, one or two players that's leaving, but who's to say who's going to be coming there?
Right.
So I'm excited to see what happens.
It's kind of weird because I think sometimes I think it's good because some of these colleges, these universities that are businesses, they hold these kids hostage.
Right.
They hold them hostage because of money. They hold them hostage. I mean, you stop my livelihood of going to play basketball and getting an education just because, you didn't finish your commitment. But yet and still, guess what? Every year they have to go back and recertify their dang scholarship every year. I don't want to. They can kick you off the team, lose your scholarship, and you gotta pay. So guess what? You giving me my choice. If I was whoever, I could transfer if I was Joe Schmo and I didn't play basketball, football, whatever, I could go transfer and go to another school next semester with no problem. So I think it's good.
Like Parker just said, it'll be interesting to see what happens when it's all said and done.
Well, it's just my personal opinion, folks. I just believe that the NCAA is such a farce, man. It's a farce.
Yeah, it's been a farce. I mean, they hold everybody. They hold your livelihood for coaches. They hold these livelihoods in the palm of their hands, and they're hypocritical. You tell me to do one thing, you tell somebody else to do something else. They know who was doing what, but it's like, you can't work as a college student.
All right.
Because I'm getting a free education on scholarship, on an athletic scholarship. But guess what? If you were on an academic scholarship, you can still go make money. You could go take on. You could go take on.
What do you feel about players that do have a full ride getting money, like not working but getting paid?
I don't care. You know why? Because here goes the Todd Gurley in me. You use my name on my back to make money. You use the rights of myself to make money. You're not paying me. I don't care if my tuition is over $100,000. It's not over $100,000 for 4 years. I don't care what you tell me.
Because I mean, just to piggyback off of that, like I've seen players, overseas that come here and come play for a college that's really good, but they can't go out and make money, in the city or whatever. Because I mean, one, of course, you have a commitment, and two, you don't have any time. So with those two things factoring in, like those guys have to rely on the stipend or rely on the whatever financial aid they get back. But that's really nothing, in comparison to how much you're actually going to be putting out,
Right.
So,
Well, that's great for the superstar athlete, but what about the average Joe Smo that rides the bench?
Correct. The guy on Duke, the little white kid on. Well,
you're about right though, Javier. It usually is.
Yeah, it is. But the walk-ons of this, the ones that have to work out, the ones that have to, hey, look, I got to pay my way to get in here to get a scholarship,
Yep.
And those are the ones who are affected the most.
Yeah.
It's like, yo, you got to do. I'm sitting here bleeding Carolina blue. I'm bleeding, Duke blue. I'm bleeding these colors for you. And I mean, I'm not talking about Duke because I know, I don't know what they do, but I'm just saying in general. I'm like, they have to do. They provide a nice life for them, for the student athlete. So which is good, but sometimes some of these kids, they don't have suits, they don't have this, they don't have that. You let
Right.
Vince Carter back in the day, man, he didn't have a lot of stuff. He had to go to, he had to borrow things, and then you have the boosters or the alumni. Oh, we can't talk to them. But yet still you give the program X amount of dollars. Like
True. Based on their performance, how far they get.
Well, what's really so hypocritical? Look at the guy that coached for Drake. He made these belligerent comments about the players staying on the plantation. Really?
right.
You say that? You make that comment? Come on. That's just like unforgiving.
Yeah.
And then,
He still keeps his job too, though. So.
all right.
Which is crazy because if that was anybody else, if that was a person of color that said something crazy.
Well, first of all, no, because Herschel Walker said something stupid too.
Yeah, Herschel is definitely white on the inside.
I was gonna say Herschel Walker has a lot of other influences.
He has issues, is what he has.
There you go.
Yeah, he does. I don't really like to talk about Herschel Walker, so continue.
So slow down. Don't say that up here in Atlanta or Georgia, period. That's how you.
They love some Herschel Walker.
Are you serious? Oh, maybe it's because
they live in Georgia. What do you think?
Yeah, you badmouth Herschel Walker, you might as well be saying something about guys. So
he the last one who gave University of Georgia a championship. He like, man,
exactly.
What?
Yeah.
I know that was 1981, but what'd you say there, boy?
Like, oh, don't like that. And it's not really his fault though, but we traded half our team away. We gave Dallas 3 Super Bowls, and Herschel Walker had one good game, over 100 yards. That was it.
True.
Nothing else.
True.
But that's a Minnesota team for you.
I feel your pain. I feel your pain on that one. I feel your pain. Dang, man. Dang, Sherry. Go ahead, man. Golly, you just brought it all. You just tore the Band-Aid off of people.
I'm just saying.
We went 15-1 a year. We should have won the Super Bowl that year too. Oh, sorry, my bad.
I know. We get there. You just don't do it.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man. What happened, man?
They just, I don't know. It's almost like they choke. Like we do really good and we get to the NFC Championship game and we don't know how to play football. I don't know.
It's been happening for years though. So it's been, I mean,
I wrote a big old thing on the Vikings blog on Facebook.
Oh Lord.
Like that's great that you're pumping up the defense, but Kirk Cousins needs more than 2 seconds to throw the ball. So what about the offensive line?
I don't know why the offensive line don't get paid, man. That's like going to Home Depot and getting like the little Mexicans to come do your housework that does really great jobs, but you pay somebody else to do all the paintings and pay them a lot of money. I'm like, why, man? The little Hispanics hooked it all up.
Don't you think that that's a little racially insensitive?
That was.
Okay.
Just saying. I'm
gonna shut up.
That's our opinion.
Where's somebody at? I need some backup.
I don't think Parker's helping you today.
Dang, that's all right.
How much? What are we looking at for time wise?
We got a lot of time, Uncle. We got a lot of time. We got
how much?
Like 20 minutes.
Right.
Oh.
Yeah, we got time.
Wow, I'm just gonna say you really sound like wow.
No.
We only have 5 minutes.
No, I didn't know. I'm just checking to see, make sure, I'm on my time.
Yeah.
That's all.
We are time eligible. How's that?
We're time eligible.
Cool.
So hey, who do you have as USC and Oregon, Uncle? What do you think about that game?
I'm going with SC, man.
Man, SC looks good too, though. Just tell you the truth.
You think?
Those two brothers, man. Woo, they can hoop. They can hoop.
They can. Yes, they can.
Sherry, have you been following the women's side of the bracket?
I have a little bit. I think the game I'm waiting on eventually is gonna be Baylor and UConn.
Ooh.
That's gonna be a test for UConn.
Ooh. Yeah. Ooh.
Like I don't think they've really been tested yet. I think Baylor could probably pull away with a win.
Yeah, I think that. Yeah, I like that game. I saw the end of the Texas A&M overtime game. I haven't really watched a lot of. I haven't even watched the college games that much either, so I haven't really watched.
Shame on you.
Oh, man.
Well, not everybody has a whole lot of time.
But
I'm basketball. Javier works.
Yeah.
I got school.
Yeah, man, we got jobs.
I mean, I don't have a job. My job is grad school.
That's a better job than me.
Yeah, that's what I'm gonna say. I wish I could have went better.
So we can switch.
Oh, I don't know.
It's a lot of reading and a lot of writing.
Oh yeah, no, I pass.
I like my.
See, that's what I'm saying.
I like my paycheck, man. I'm just saying.
That is exactly what I'm saying. Samuel.
Yes.
What's going on with baseball?
Baseball season starts next Friday.
Actually,
actually, it's Thursday.
Yeah.
I was gonna say
on Thursday. Yeah, on Thursday.
Who you got? Who's your
team? The AFC Central Division is going to be.
Well, not the AFC Central. Definitely not them.
Why?
Because that's football.
Oh yeah.
Wow. How do you think the Twins are going to do?
I think they'll be all right. I don't think what they did. They got rid of some of their top line pitching and got some more pitching. I wouldn't necessarily say it was better, but I think that the Twins are going to be all right. They Eddie Rosario, who was a left fielder for the Twins, got traded over the winter to Cleveland.
Twins like to get rid of talent. Oh, my bad. Except for Joe Mauer. Really talented. He just made a lot of money and he was from here.
Man.
I'm sorry.
Wow. Why are you ripping Joe?
That was pretty dark. That's pretty dark.
Again, I think Minnesota teams pay too much money, and then they notice that we need some more, but we don't have a cap because we play
too much money for
so many people this much money. And so now everyone else has to rework their contract.
I never understand that. I'm like, why do you want to pay me less? I'm like, dude, you agreed on this a while ago. Like, I don't know, bro. I don't know.
they're banking off the loyalty for the team. Dang that. Well, loyalty don't pay bills.
You know what? You're right. You're right.
I'm about to pull a Spreewell, man. I got to feed my family, man.
I got 8 kids coming. What do you mean?
That was a ridiculous situation.
Okay.
I was supposed to eat off a regular plate.
Oh, you were like in the middle of that, weren't you, Sam?
Do what?
Yeah.
The Trell Spreewell situation.
No, I was gone from the team by then. I didn't have anything to do with them. Yeah, I was when Kevin Garnett played the first 10 years, matter of fact, when Kevin Garnett, I remember a short story. I remember I was selling some raffle tickets for softball. And so Kevin said, how much are they? I said, oh, they're $5 a piece. So he said, and this is like his rookie year, he gave me his bank card. And I was like, okay. He said, give me all of them. I said, all of them? He said, yeah. So I counted, I was in the locker room. So I sit there and count them off. It was like about 100, 100 raffle tickets. So I said, it's 100. I said, okay, you can get out. whatever the cost of it was, of the tickets. So, and bring me the card back. So I did.
So $500.
Correct.
Good grief. KG was
No,
wild.
we had it like that back then.
I mean, yeah. That contract. Look, even
Yeah,
back then,
it's
that
just
contract.
his body wasn't ready, which made me laugh because I went to a game because my nephew played when KG was a rookie. And so I went to a game and his girlfriend from high school was like, "What's wrong with him? Like, he's not even dominating." I just turned around and looked at her like, "Girl, this ain't high school."
Not high school. Like
Like,
really,
this ain't even college.
like these are grown. Look, and back then these are grown men.
Right.
Grown men. This ain't like, I mean, now it's still grown men, but this is like, hey man, you got to put on 20 pounds. What? What are you talking about? I got to put on
Yeah,
20?
he had to bulk up.
Yeah, I mean, it was to watch him play, like, even in high school, man, I would watch him and I was just like, you could get along with athletic. I mean, he was bigger and he wasn't stronger, but he was more athletic at his size to do everything. And I was just like, how do you jump? Like, how are you 7 foot? You can still go touch the top of the glass. That's not fair. That ain't fair, bro.
Who said that fair to?
Man, look, I had to tell Sharif one time, man. I was like, mind you, me and Sharif, we on the same team, right? Sharif Abdur-Rahim, we on the same team. Of course, Sharif is 6'9", 220. He was like 220 at the time, but Sharif was a bad boy. So I'm like, I said, yo, we're watching the play. I was like, you don't do, because this is my thing. I'm like, I've been around 7-footers who play basketball. So I'm like, this is kind of crazy because I never seen the 7-footer that is athletic. Even in the NBA, you don't see this. So it's like brand new to me. And I remember he went and blocked some kid's shot, bam. And I was like, and he's talking, yeah. And I'm like, that ain't fair. I'm ready to fight you. And I'm not even on the court. I'm ready to fight. I was like, this. Sharif was like, man, shut up. And I'm like, because Sharif is silent. If you got, Uncle, you know how Sharif is. He's silent.
Right. Very quiet guy.
He's like, yo, shut up. And I'm like, but I'm saying, he's like, man, don't get, like, just be quiet. Like, we got to play these dudes at some point in time. And I'm like, I'm going to shut up. I'm be quiet. I'm like, man, even coach was looking at me. I was like, I'm going to go over there, man, because I'm talking. I'm like, man, I'm with it. And I met him, I actually met him when he was in South Carolina at another camp. So when he used to live he was well known, but he wasn't like the big Farragut High School Kevin Garnett guy, right? So, and my boy, he used to actually go to high school with him too, and he was like, he kind of introduced us in that summertime, and I was like, oh man, what's up? But I didn't play against him then, but I was like, yo, I saw him play. I was like, man, this dude is an animal. This dude is crazy, man. Damn, not fair.
Okay, so last night was the NAACP Image Awards, and LeBron got one. And I knew about his school, but I didn't know about the rest of the stuff that he did. So he's giving back to the community he grew up in.
Oh yeah.
Like, he's giving out scholarships for kids that graduate. Like, he's paying their way through school. He's helping families. He's buying houses for people that, don't have one. And he's like, he always wanted to come back and help, the low-income families, because that's where he grew up. That's how he grew up.
Yeah.
So I didn't know that about him.
I think LeBron.
Did y'all know that about him?
I did.
Some of it, yeah.
I think he's a great philanthropist. I think he has a lot. And shout out to him because he owns part of Liverpool and the Boston Red Sox.
Right.
I think he's going to wind up being. I think the group, and he's been a part of this group for a while, but I think he's just leveraging everything else to I think he's getting the game from Michael Jordan to a degree. Where it's like, look, we need more people inside of these different spaces, and he leverages that. With his team, he leverages everything, and I think with his school, I think it's just awesome, man. I think he should be the blueprint of a lot of athletes. You know, I don't care if you're black, white, Asian, whatever. I mean, you should be the blueprint because we have too much money in America to not give back to our communities. I don't want to hear, oh man, our community is bad. Well, what are you doing to take care of it?
Right.
Right.
I mean, you know, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar used to do the same thing, you know, education wise and things like that, but he's taken it to another level. So big ups to LeBron. Big ups to
I
LeBron.
agree. What you think, Sam?
Well, I think it's it's wonderful what he's doing, but you know what I don't like? I'm gonna tell you what I don't like. These coaches, college coaches, are just trying to, you know, narrow mind his agent. They go after his agent like crazy.
Oh yeah.
What
Oh
does
yeah.
Jason have to do with what he's doing?
Well, no. What happens is that because LeBron's got the blueprint, they don't want, like, that's why I was so happy to see Syracuse lose, because Jim Boeheim was behind the you got to be a college graduate to be an agent, but it got snuffed because they were trying to make LeBron's agent doesn't have a degree. You don't have to have a degree to be an agent.
You don't.
Right.
It's all about marketing when you're an agent anyway. You're marketing a brand. You're marketing your player.
So LeBron and his agent are just sharp, man. They're sharp.
Yeah, which one is it? Who's LeBron's agent? Which one is his buddy?
Rich. Yeah.
Now, which one did which one went to business school? One of them went to somebody went to.
It was him.
It was him, right?
Was it him or was it the other guy?
I know he sent all of them to school though. I know he sent.
Yeah.
I know he paid everybody to go to school and get all the papers and certificate, whatever they needed to get. He done it. You know, and that's why they're so tight. You know, that's like an unbreakable bond. They have an unbreakable bond. Their bond is you can't come.
Right.
And they also.
But I mean, it's from their background though. I mean, they came from a hard situation, you know, growing up. That's why all those guys are, you know, starting to come back. Like, you know, of course, LeBron, you know, with his school and everything. But, you know, with those guys backing him, they're able to get back to the community also. I mean, I think that's some of the biggest things that, you know, a lot of these athletes are looking at now. Is that, you know, okay, what am I doing? Yeah, I'm playing on the field right now, or I'm playing on the court right now, but, you know, when it stops and everything is settled, like, you know, what have I done for, you know, the people that's come behind me?
Right.
I think that's what a lot of these athletes are noticing just this past year is that with all the stuff that's been happening with the protests and all this stuff, like now you hear all these athletes speaking up and coming back to the community. And LeBron has been a catalyst for years for pushing that stuff.
Yep.
So, I mean, you know, I think LeBron's legacy is going to be bigger than just what he's doing right now. It's really going to be about how he empowered the other athletes to, you know, be able to speak out about certain stuff or, you know, be comfortable with coming back to giving money back to their community or giving to a community.
Right.
You know, it's going to be bigger than just, you know, look what LeBron did. It's going to be, look what LeBron, you know, look what LeBron was able to do for other players and other people and be able to build bigger communities around the country. So, I mean, I me personally, that's what I kind of see it as, you know, what can I do for other people? Not just, you know, and it's not just for the underprivileged, it's for everybody. And I think that's what's one of the bigger things is that now he's able to include other people along with the Black African American community or along with, you know, Asian community or whatever. You know, he's doing a lot of work for everybody.
Right. His focus is though, like where he came from. You know,
right.
He's like he never thought he would be in the position that he's in right now, even though he's hurt. So he's just like, I can't stand up and accept this award because the doctor told me I couldn't. So,
yeah, no, we don't need him to stand up anywhere. He just roll around and get the award.
Okay, so he hurt his ankle. But did he sprain it? Like, what happened?
It was a high sprain.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And those take a little longer.
Yeah, that's the one that's on your it's almost like a bone bruise. That's really what that's
right
really
above the ankle.
yeah,
Like the
because
ankle
that
bone.
yeah, right that high part. Because like I broke my ankle, but I broke it like right at the same place. So it's almost like you have because your bone, your fibia, your tibia, one of those, whatever it is, that bone is right there. So that's what he hit. Yeah. So it's on, and that's right on the outside of your ankle, and so that's it's almost like a bone bruise. So it takes long. That's the one that's
They
like.
say it's like if you break, you're better off to break your ankle than have a sprain.
Yep.
Yeah.
Because I broke my ankle in 3 places in basketball, and they didn't know it. They were just like, "Oh, okay, well, put ice on it." And then they finally did like a bone scan and was like, "Oh, you broke your ankle in 3 places. We can go in and reset it." Oh no, we're not doing that.
I reset my own ankle.
How are you looking for time now?
Like 2.5 minutes.
Okay. Yeah, by the way, Michigan is just stomping Florida State 27-16.
Oh man, Parker, your team sucks, man.
Well, there goes ACC then.
Hey, one thing, Uncle, what do you think about? I just happen to see this right now. What do you think about Indiana hiring Mike Woodson?
Great hire. And speaking of Mike Woodson, who was a black coach for Indiana, they hired a black coach here from Minnesota too.
In Minnesota, yeah.
Benny Johnson.
Congratulations.
Yeah, you actually caught that last week. You actually put that one out there. So
yes, you did.
Yeah. And the thing is that I coach him and he's probably in the 7th grade, but then he interned for me when I later on went for the Timberwolves. So great guy, nice, quiet guy, not a lot of fuss. I just hope they give him about 3 years to get going. Because you remember, he got the 2 players now they're in the NBA, Coffee and O'Toole.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean the first thing.
Go ahead.
No, I mean the first thing that they said when they hired him was, to try to keep the Minnesota players at home.
Hello.
And I was like, oh snap. Okay, well,
that's what's needed.
That's what's needed, right?
That is what's needed because I mean, like we talked about before, Tyus and Trey Jones got out of here.
Duke.
They both went to Duke. Jalen is at Gonzaga. Shaq Holmgren, who's another really good player.
He's going to Gonzaga.
He's going, yeah.
Plus, the McKinley Wright, the guard from Colorado.
He's from here too.
Yeah, he's from Minnesota too. He was Mr. Basketball. He left.
Hey, we got like 45 seconds.
All right, I want to thank you guys today. Next week we'll have another guest on, one of my old friends. But I want to thank my nephews and being on Big Sam and Nephews. I want to thank Sherry for participating, and you guys have a great week.
All right, you do the same.